What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Banconator Zone for a live show. The day after another non-winning weekend, I guess. Or we actually won, but it wasn't because of us right now. Or like we're winning, but we're not winning. We're just winning in the table, quote unquote. But with me today, Norbert, as always, and Malik back from, I don't know, a 2-3 week break, I think it was. So how are you guys doing today?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing well. I was chilling all day and watching all kind of crazy games and supporting Napoli and Udinese today. I can't believe I
yeah,
have to
not
do
not
this because of Allegri.
yeah, not too bad for me as well. I watched Udinese versus Bologna to scout Motta, Zirkzee, Calafiori, because why not? And yeah, exam season is upon me, so yeah.
I I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched football. I can't because I was extremely busy today. I caught, let's say, from when Roma got the pen. From that moment, I started watching football today. I was out until that moment, so I caught all 4 goals from that Roma game. I didn't watch anything else today, so I cannot really speak on Bologna and whatever. I watched a bit of Fiorentina in the first half, and that's it. But what I did watch was us again. Sadly enough, I watched, and I'm gonna watch next Sunday again because we're idiots at this point, I guess. But we watched that Milan game. I spoke about quite a lot yesterday, today, whatever. So I'm gonna give you guys the floor. I want to say 1-1, 0-0 against Milan. Poor Milan side who offered absolutely nothing. That first half was kind of a throwaway completely. Second half, we had a few moments. We didn't really took him. We got unlucky slash lucky in certain moments. A mix of it. But we got away with we don't get away with a point. We only end up with a point, which doesn't really help us considering the games coming up. Somebody asked me how many points do we need? So I did a quick math really quickly, and I'm not sure if it's 100% right, but Roma still need to play Bologna. That's the case. So we need, uh, if Roma lose against Atalanta, we need 4 points. If Roma draw Atalanta, or um, we need 5 points on Roma, and if um Roma win against Atalanta, we still need 5 points, but then it's on Atalanta, basically. So we need 4 points if Atalanta win against Roma, and we need 5 points if Roma win or draw against. Uh,
Or if we beat Roma next week, it's over.
um,
Yeah, I saw that somewhere where
Depending
if
on
we
the game
beat
in hand
Roma,
against
then it's
Fiorentina. Depending on the game in hand, Atalanta have against
surprise.
Fiorentina, because
I
they can
mean
still.
Roma. But wait, if Atalanta doesn't win, then it's
Yeah,
even
but we
better.
we don't know if they win because they have the game in hand. That's the issue. Like, you need to take that into
True.
account. But that's basically the math,
Okay.
really quickly. Let's say we need 5 points out of the next 4 games. The bad news is we play Roma first. So the easy game is on the last game. But Milan, Norbert, what do you make made of that game?
It was the weakest and the worst Milan side in years, I think. The backline was completely made off. They had the Primavera players playing in the second half, the end of the second half, and still we didn't beat them. The first half was horrible. I was on my phone like I think 25 minutes of it. The second half was better, but still I don't know. Those crosses, those are the chances. Crosses and then praying and then again we subbed off our best striker on the 61st minute or second or something. That's it's insane to me. I will never understand. Um, yeah, I, I I don't know. It's I just can't wait for this to be over. Honestly, and praying for other results and all this stuff. This is insane to me. I can't get over this. But yeah, it was horrible again, and this was our chance, and we blew it again. So yeah, That's that.
Malik, you enjoyed it?
Well, no. How can you enjoy that? It
I
was
don't know.
that game. Even I was watching it on BT, on TNT, I should say, and even the commentators were bored out of their minds. They kept saying, "Oh, this is a subpar Juve. This is a subpar Milan. Let's hope we see a goal." And that just sums it up. Really, it was a really dead game. But with that being said, we had enough chances to win it for ourselves, and that would have helped our case for the Champions League instead of stressing more for these last 4 or 5 games. Yeah, but yeah, what comes to mind is that Milik chance, the header, and yeah, not really. You could only think of like 2, 3 chances we had, I think. But other than that, really, really bad game. And what's funny is because all their players were pretty much suspended for this game, I felt cocky and said, "Oh, we're gonna win 3-0," but I should have
Oh
known
my
better.
god. Yeah, you should have known.
Yeah, I should have
I
known
tipped.
better. Yeah.
I predicted 1-1. It was 0-0, so that was
That,
close.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was too happy throughout the week. I was in a good mood and stuff. I submitted my dissertation. I was like, "Oh, let's go! Everything's coming good." So
So I had nothing to
yeah,
like
yeah. I could remember this is Allegri's Juve.
the confidence came from your personal life, not really from what you watched.
Exactly. Confidence came from my personal life, not my football life.
And people are saying if we beat Roma, we're in. I mean, I like could be. It's been a long day. I just did the math like 2 minutes before I before I joined you guys. So it could be, but we're not beating Roma. That's we didn't like we
I
didn't
mean,
like
to be fair, Roma was pretty caca today. So
yeah, but we've been worse.
especially in the first half.
We've been worse all season.
Yeah, I
Like
saw
the,
Napoli were
That's
all over them. I didn't watch the game, but according to the stats and all these metrics, they were just, they should have lost that game, really.
yeah. Napoli missed like 200%, like one-on-one on the goalkeeper chances. One by Osimhen, and the other one I forgot his name. The midfielder with the long hair, black dude. I forgot.
Anguissa.
Yes, him. Yeah.
yeah.
Napoli first half was really good.
Yeah. What I do want to talk about really quickly, or not really quickly, is certain players in that game. Because we usually do that. I think, I don't know, like, there were some very, but the game overall was so slow paced. like you were right. I was watching on the Belgium network, and those guys were talking about the Belgian league during the game. You know, Milan Juve, they were talking about the Belgian playoffs, and I was like,
That's funny.
I'm like, it is more interesting. I'm not gonna lie, but it was bad. You know, it was that bad. So it was very hard for me to pick out individual players because the pace we were on was so extremely slow that I don't even know what to make out of that game. You know, people want to pick on Vlahovic. Like, he was, again, fighting for his life, keeping up hold of the ball. Milik, you know, setting up a counter 1v4. And people are like, oh, you lost possession. I'm like, he's going to lose possession. Like, he's Yildiz. He's not Maradona. You know, let's be real right here. So that kept happening. And then you have players like Rabiot, like, pointless that these players are out there, basically. And it's more of the same, you know. It's more of the same. The only difference we had was Chiesa come on, and he was running at already bad players, and they were tired. So it was just run at them, and you are better, period. You know, because these guys never usually play, and they're tired. So you're just gonna skip past them. But like Norbert said at the beginning, we don't create chances. Post game, Allegri was talking about we create 4 or 5 chances a game. I'm like, no, we do not. Like, we absolutely do not create 4 or 5 chances. The chances we had, the big one was for Danilo, and he hit the post. That's it. You know, the Rabiot one was scrappy. Like, Sportiello just handed it to us, literally. You know, the Milik header wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't an easy header. Like, we didn't really had chances. You know, that's an issue. When he talks about chances, he thinks about, man, if we made that final pass or two, it could be a chance. That's how he is viewing it. but we've not been doing that for 3 years. So you cannot basically come out now and say, "Oh, that's the issue right now," because it has been the issue. We don't create, like, we don't put goalkeepers under pressure. We don't, like, we don't, and that just remains a massive issue. Yes, we didn't give away anything, but like you said, like, that purely setup was disgusting as well. Like Leao was just running at a brick wall for 90 minutes, and I was like, yeah, you're just not gonna win that ever. Like, it's just impossible. He's not really in form. It's up and down this season, and you're asking him to run at three defenders. We always knew how that was gonna end, and it ended very poorly for him. So I don't even know what to say about individuals. Vlahovic was frustrated when he came off, as usual happens for any attacker who comes off. Basically, he refuses to play all three of them. Again, so that you can throw basically away. Trying to impact the game, it's more of like for like subs, and you kind of make the difference right now. And yes, it worked against Lazio, didn't work yesterday, but there are no real changes within the game to say, you know what, we're not going to break Milan down like this. Let me mix it up a little bit. He doesn't do that, and we don't win again. It's 2 wins out of 13. It's 2 wins out of 13. And post game in the media, not one question on that. Like, none. Like, not one journalist or even the presser stands up and says, you won 2 games out of the last 13. How much is that blame? How much of that blame, falls on you? Nobody's asking those questions, and I'm listening to the pressers every single week, twice, pre-game, post-game. I'm like, what a waste of time! Like, what a waste of time! It is a waste of time because we win 2 games out of 13, and he gets away with it. I keep saying it. He's getting away with it. He's asked about how do you think your Juve will be next season. I'm like, piss off with that question. We all know he's not going to be there. What weird question is that? Because you asked that. Next week, the other guy asked. Like, it's the same questions over and over again. And he's going to respond sarcastically, saying, I like excellent players. Like I said, he wants top players. Everybody wants top players. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve top players. I'm not saying we don't deserve top players. But we're not in that situation. We need a coach more so than a manager right now. We do. Like, we need a coach or a person who actually is going to tell players, you need to be here, 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 and here. That's it. We don't have the squad to say, if we pass midfield, whatever, you guys, you're good enough, just figure it out. We're not that team. And that's what he wants, and it's far off reality. And for me, still, like, post-game, he's getting away with it. He really is getting away with it in the media. They're letting him off extremely soft. 2 wins out of 13. If that was Inzaghi, Pioli, De Rossi, name it, they will be on the doorstep. They will be called out by journalists every single week. But in this case, it's not happening, and it's strange. It's really strange.
Yeah. Yeah, this is unacceptable, seriously. Like, sometimes I forget how bad our form is. Like, winning 2 out of 13, that's like, if you want to relegate for sure, that's your form. And the
exactly.
journalists they just say nothing, like asking stupid questions or like questions that doesn't matter. And I'm just
It's 2 wins out of
scratching my
13.
head.
Juric should get that to Torino, man, if he did that.
Yeah. That's basically it. Yeah. Like, I've seen, I've seen worse coaches of teams with lower quality and less expectations getting more stake than this. I really do. It is. And he's getting away with it, and it's frustrating. And funnily enough, today, I want to shout out the person who tweeted it, but I forgot. I think it was Companelli Alex on Twitter. He had 4 quotes from Allegri on Yildiz in the space of a month or so. The first one saying is, Chiesa and Yildiz are similar players. The week afterwards saying, yeah, but they're different. Then he says they're similar again. And yesterday he says they're different. One can dribble. And I'm like, what is it now? Like, do you even know what Yildiz is or Chiesa? Like one of the two, because like those were literal quotes. 4 weeks in a row, he changes it up from they're similar to they're different to similar to they're different. That tells me he's absolutely lying. He's lying, and he's not. He has no real clue how to incorporate or like use all three of them in the team. He doesn't have a clue. He doesn't, because if you say they're similar, they're similar. They don't become not similar based on a week, and then the following week they're similar again, and then this week no, they're not similar again. Like that's weird. And those were literally his quotes, week by week by week by week. And when I see the subs he makes, and when I see how Yildiz plays and how Chiesa plays, he doesn't really know how to use them. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see Yildiz dropping in deep, playing between the pockets. Good. Yesterday that wasn't really the case. You know, that wasn't really the case. And I'm like, that's my point. Like players are not developing as well. They're not developing. You know, you have players who have good moments, then bad moments, and the players who have bad moments have good moments, and it's all over the place. But there's no line where everybody is good or everybody is poor. Like it's all over the place. And for me, that's the biggest issue for 3 years right now. Not we're far off, because that's an issue as well, but we don't have anything to build on. You know, yesterday again, you know, I was watching on the Belgian network, and they were saying that actually what do they do well, because one of the two said they defend well, and the other said, yeah, you know, not really actually, basically, you know, because he watches Juve every single week, and the other one, his partner, not so much. And he was saying, not really, you know, they can't keep possession. Like, and we messed up a counterattack while they were speaking. They were like, this happens also so many times. So they don't counter. Like, if we are a counterattacking team and we do it well, I'll take that. At least we do. At least we're that. But we're not. Like, we do nothing extremely well. You know, our football is get those balls through wing backs and just whip it in. That's basically what we're trying to do. Or Chiesa or Yildiz cut it inside and try to whip it in. You know. Funny enough, Miretti did it, and somehow he was a topic again yesterday evening, which confused me because I'm not sure. Like, he played 10 minutes and people are talking about Miretti. I'm like, I kind of admit that I have a Danilo agenda, quote unquote, because I bring it up every single week. I don't rate it. I literally don't. But because I bring it up, people say it's an agenda. Okay, fine. But buddy, if Miretti comes in for 10 minutes and takes a shot, which wasn't a poor shot, it wasn't out of the stadium. Like, it wasn't one of those shots where you look at it and you're like, what the hell was that? You know? And people are talking about Miretti. I'm like, you don't want to talk about the real issues right now. You don't. He played 10 minutes. Rabiot played, what did he play? 300 plus minutes the last couple of weeks. Tell me which game he played well. Those are the main issues. Not Miretti coming on for 10 minutes. Oh, but we need difference makers off the bench. We need difference makers starting. We don't have that at the moment. We don't have that. That's the issue. Not Miretti coming off the bench. But we talked about it so many times. I don't even know what to say. Like, the only good news is it's 5 games. That's it. And then there's the Euros. We have a break from whatever this was this season, because, man, this season, it went by really quickly, but it still feels like it took 40 years. Like, it does. It really does. But I don't know. Like you said, Norbert, at the beginning, the good news of the weekend is Roma failed to win and Bologna failed to win. That's
Yeah.
basically the takeaway again.
Yeah,
And
and
we've been doing the same thing for 3 seasons, you know, where we just want the season to end, we want the summer to refresh ourselves, and it's just the same. And what's the common denominator? We're not playing good football under Allegri.
and Ale, you talked about the players and not developing, and imagine Miretti is development under a different coach. You know, mm, I mean, yeah, Fagioli lost 1 year, but Yildiz, thankfully, now will have a new coach. Let's see. how is he under him. But yeah, it's I just want this to be over, and this is really sad. And we're gonna have the lowest points ever, I think, since I don't even know, since we have
Since
38
Del Neri.
games. Yeah, and yeah, it feels like a nightmare, and it shouldn't be like this, and it's sad because Allegri
Yeah,
was really a legend at the first stint when he was here, and now he
you
will
know,
leave, and it's a bad taste in the mouth, and it's not good, but it is what it is.
I saw a quote before he re-signed 2.5 years ago, Allegri. I think it was from Lippi, I don't remember. So someone big that said, "Oh, he shouldn't go back to Juve again because he could taint his legacy and people will hate him." Well, oops.
Yeah, that's always the danger, coming back and not doing what you did when you step down. Basically, that's why I'm like, don't bring old things back. That's like when it's done, it's done. There's a reason basically why it's done. And yes, at times it works out, but that's just my motto basically. And thanks, James, for the comment. But yeah, that's why when people talk about Conte and bringing that player back, I'm like, just do something new. Do
Yeah,
something
and
new.
at this point, Motta is like I would say 99% sure, right? Like
Yeah, seems that way.
Skira wrote it, Di Marzo said it, so
Yeah, it feels like it's gonna be uh, Thiago Motta. I feel like everything
and also
points
the
towards him.
players,
Yeah, the
yeah, the
links,
players,
like
yeah.
everything. Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I think everybody agrees with that. I think even people were like, no, we don't need to move coach. We like, they. I think everybody agrees now. It's time. Even if you're a very, it kind of shifted to, oh, the team's so poor basically. So yeah, Allegri leave. But I think everybody, even if you like Allegri, and I don't dislike Allegri, I just think it's
Yeah,
time. Excuse me. I think it's time to move on. But even if you're like, no, I think he's still good enough for the job. I think those people also came to a point where it's like, it's just not gonna happen. We're not gonna improve right now. It feels toxic. And not
and
talking about the fans, just watching that, it feels like nobody wants to be there. That's a massive issue. We play like nobody wants to be there.
and also he's gonna cost 20 mil, right, with his staff and everyone to sack him.
About yeah, but
Yeah.
what do you want to do? Waste
20
another
plus we
season?
lose 10. Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm just saying that Junto's job is not getting easier.
Minus 30 for the transfer window. Come on.
Yeah, but I don't
And
know how
I'm
does
out
it work
here
actually.
wanting, and we're out here
Because
being linked with cop miners Xerxes who are valued at 60 plus million.
but I think Allegri will stay on he's still getting the money, so it's not like we get this 20 mil off at once. So
No, unless he gets a job and he takes it, then we're off
yeah, yeah,
basically. But other than that, I don't think he's gonna take a job. I think he's just gonna sit out for a season. Um, it doesn't strike me. He might sit out and then he might say it's done. Like, because I don't see another top club really going for him right now. If I'm being completely honest,
Milan.
yeah, I don't think he's gonna. Like, I don't think Milan.
I
I
saw
don't
that
think.
link.
I think it's done. I think he
It would be
will.
funny.
I think he will just step down and just move
Yeah.
on. I really have a feeling. Um, but yeah. Other than that, like I'm actually sick and tired of talking. Like when I do these videos, I'm
Yeah.
like, I need to lie, and it's tough. Like I can talk about transfers every single day, but I've been doing that all season long, and I came to a point where I'm like, I don't want, like, we shouldn't be talking about transfers mid-season. Like we shouldn't. Like we should be talking football. When I look up Inter and Milan channels, they're not talking about transfers in January or like in October. We were doing that because of this, and even now, right now,
It's
we're talking about
circle.
non-football things, basically. Or like it's football, but it's not what's happening on the pitch. It's fantasy. Oh, if you have Calafiori, if we have Coop Miners, if we have Sirixi, if we have Turam and whatever, I'm like, it's a lot of ifs, and like it's not even transfer season, and transfer season is already gonna be all over the place. That I'm
Yeah,
not.
but can you blame us?
No,
with this
like we need
Yeah,
to.
we want something to hold on to for next season.
Yeah,
We do.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we already said everything. We
That's
already
that's
said
how
like
bad it
everything
is. Yeah, that just
2 months
shows.
ago. Yeah,
I've been making starting 11s for next season, like from December. You know.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
Allegri has never been a legend. This guy coached Juve that was handed over by Conte. There was no competition in Serie A, and went out for the challenge. He lost twice. Nah, for me, is like as a coach, he remains like. And people might say, "Oh, the last 3 seasons took that away." I'm not gonna do that. That's just me personally. He is a legend. Like he won. He won a lot.
But
Like you cannot take that away.
winning that many in a row, and you think it's easy to get into the Champions League final?
Yeah,
Like
we
it's
lost,
really
Twice.
hard.
and against Barcelona, I can like whatever. Like everybody was like, "How are we in the final?" If you look back at the previous season, Benfica Europa League final, and then boom, we're here, and it wasn't like, "Oh my God, we're getting blown away here," but that was a ridiculous Barcelona side. The Real Madrid one was iffy because after that first half, I think everybody was like, calm, like calm. After that first half, actually towards that first half, I was like, man, we're kind of on top right here, And then that second half, we totally collapsed. Basically, it was with some and it started with a deflection goal from Casemiro, and then everybody was gone. it was completely gone. Like straight after 3-1, and it was done. For me, he is the legend. Like you cannot take away what he won. Was it 5 plus 4 copas? Like, yeah, like it's so much. You cannot say
3
he's not.
Super Copas.
Yeah, like even if you want to, like you cannot take that away. He won those. That's what I said so many times. He won those. I'm not gonna take that away. You cannot take those away because he still did it with Conte's team or not. He took it to another level. He did.
Yeah.
He did. And Conte went to other places and he never reached that level. That's still the reality. And I think Conte did a fantastic job, by the way. Not saying that, but he went Chelsea and he couldn't take, like in Europe, his record is dreadful.
England is hard. England is different, especially if you're Italian.
Yeah, but like even in Europe, his record is awful. It's ridiculously poor, So you cannot then say, "Oh, but Allegri lost the final." So like, yeah, you win the final, but we were a team in Europe. People looked at and were like, "Ugh, we need to play them," Like if Ra boots that ball away, that was ridiculous. I keep saying it. That was the best team we had in terms of the way we played. That season was insane. Like we started off so poorly. Yeah, we started off so poorly, but that run, like everybody was possessed, and I was like, if Evra kicked that ball just into the stands, I think we went on at least to a Champions League final again. I really believe that. I really believe that. In that moment in time, I was like, if we get this over the line, we will play another Champions League final this season. We will. Like, I 100% was convinced about that. Yeah, okay, convinced within myself. Like, you can go out there and still lose, whatever. And we did that game. But that game we missed so many chances. I was like, okay, now you need to scrape it at the end because you had your chances and you kind of messed it up. That game should have been buried way before they got one back. That should have been 3-4 without an issue, and we kept him alive. So I was like, at that point, just survive, and we failed, and then in extra time, it was they were on top, but yeah, for me, it remains that like the last 3 years, even more so what happened off the pitch with the things he said frustrated even more than what was happening on the pitch, because I can accept the team wasn't good enough. But off the pitch comments made it worse, in my opinion. Basically. And people do hit the like button because we're not going to go on for very long anymore. I have one final question. If you have some questions, put them in the chat and still like the video. But my final question is, because I will not have you guys on until the game. We play Roma Sunday, I think it is. I think we play Sunday against Roma. Away, if we win, apparently, we're in the Champions League. If we lose, we still need about 4 or 5 points, let's say 5 points, out of Bologna, Salernitana, and Monza on the final day. So people, also like Norbert and Malik, what do you think? Early preview to that game. Keep in mind, Roma play Leverkusen on Thursday as well. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna say 1-1 or something like that.
Yeah, me too.
I
Me too.
from my heart, I would say, oh yeah, we're gonna win, but I don't feel like that. I feel the same way as I felt with Milan, and I feel that Roma is better, is in better form, and they play on Thursday, so I think it's going to be a 1-1. And but I really hope for a win, but I just don't see it happening.
I'm not gonna be too happy this week. So they do play Leverkusen on Thursday, and it's gonna drain them obviously because Leverkusen, and I'd hope we could win it and just secure it from now and just put all our eggs in the Coppa Italia final. But that's not a reality. We're away at the Olimpico. I can't see us winning. So, yeah, I think either 0-0 or 1-1. And I can see Dybala scoring against us, and there's going to be a meltdown on the timeline.
It depends. How is he gonna celebrate?
He will not celebrate.
I don't think he's going to celebrate if he scores.
I think he will.
It will be actually hilarious
you
if we
think?
win that game out of nowhere.
If we lose that game and Dybala wins it for them, I'm gonna open Twitter. I'm gonna find like a civil war going on.
I don't
sure.
care if Dybala scores, yes or no. But
Yeah, me neither. I don't. He's not our player. He was our player, but
Yeah.
just another player now.
it's 2 years ago now, so it is what it is. But
Yeah, but you still have Juve fans who are still like holding on to him.
yeah, I mean,
like he's our player.
yeah, like we move on. Like you can go on with it, I guess, but it's done. Like we cannot change it, you know. But if somebody wants to bring it up, we can do that, I guess.
Yeah. Plus, he would be still here if he has a normal agent, not
That was the issue. That was the issue.
cousin.
Oh yeah. And people forget that. By the way, if he had a proper agent, that deal would have been done ages before Juve decided
It
against.
would have.
A year.
Keep in
earlier.
mind, he was joining Inter, by the way, until Marotta said, "Oh,
Yeah,
we got
exactly.
Lukaku on a free loan. It's not happening," and he ended up Bologna. He ended up joining Roma with the lowest release clause you will ever see. Like, it
Yeah.
cannot be more obvious than that. But again, like that happened. Whatever. I think we will get smoked. By the way, on Sunday. Like, there's no way. Like, if they play with their intensity and pace that showed not
Yeah, but
today
how?
against
How
Napoli.
can they play like that? Thursday? How?
Because we are Juve.
They play on Thursday.
It doesn't matter. Like we play
We're
one game.
bad.
We play once a week. We play once a week all season, and we look like Cagliari rushed us at times. Like why wouldn't Roma? Like I don't care if they go. They make subs. They can go. Like even if you play Thursday, you can go for the first half at full pace. If
I
they
don't
do,
know.
we're done.
I feel better now after seeing them playing Napoli. You know, they were
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they were bad. But they're gonna turn up against us, aren't they?
they will, and especially if
we,
they
we
beat
make Cagliari
Leverkusen.
look good.
Especially if they beat Leverkusen. I don't know if they play at
If
home
they beat
against.
Leverkusen, no way.
Leverkusen, they're gonna.
I'm telling you
they're
right
gonna
now,
beat
there
them.
is no way.
Leverkusen, the hype
No.
they're gonna have.
There is no way they beat Leverkusen. There is no way. This Roma will
Yeah, no,
not beat
I don't
Leverkusen.
see them going past Leverkusen. I think Leverkusen are gonna win the treble. So yeah,
Treble.
the treble.
Let's see how that will go. People, if you haven't liked the video, again, like the video, subscribe. If you're rewatching, again, we're gonna wrap this one up. We will be back live on Monday, I think it is, right? Yeah, we play Sunday, so Monday we will do a breakdown, almost our last breakdown of the season, I guess, close to to the last one, which is good, which is very good. But Norbert,
Imagine next year. Oh my God, under Motta, and we play beautifully and Champions
Ooh,
League and all that.
we're gonna
goodness.
jump onto the live and be so happy.
oh, you're
I hope.
jinxing it. I wanna
I jinx
win.
many things, Ali. I jinx many things. I hope this isn't one of them.
You jinx everything.
I know I jinx everything. I know that's
I
the
haven't
thing.
asked my Julian's opinion on it because I know whatever he will say, the opposite happens. Like he can jinx things like nobody else can. But like what Norbert said, it's not about beautiful football. I just want to see something sustainable that ends up in winning. Like it needs to be it needs to be some sort of pleasing on the eye, because Allegri's previous teams were kind of pleasing on the eye in some way or sharp. I don't want to play Man City football. I'm not asking for that. Just something sustainable that you can see every single week. That's basically it.
I
But
mean, it doesn't take much to play better than this, right? It's not like
no,
Actually, yeah, logically, but like all we want to see is just something we could build on game after game and be like, oh, we're heading somewhere, or maybe
yeah,
we could challenge for that. Maybe we can go somewhere in Europe, have a good run, make it seem like we're Juve again.
yeah, basically. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up. Next year, it's gonna be a lot of these shows because we play every single day, basically. So it's gonna be completely different. I'm actually looking forward to it because we actually have football to talk about, not just transfer news or whatever. But that's for next season. Norbert, thanks for joining. Malik, thanks for joining. People in the chat, thanks for joining. And I will be back live probably on Tuesday. So I'll see you guys back on Tuesday.